Welcome to the Kingdom Culture Podcast that was created on purpose with a purpose to empower, uplift, and guide others to the center of God's perfect will. Kingdom Culture family, welcome back to the Kingdom Culture Podcast. I hope you guys have all been having an amazing week. So last week we talked about how I'm starting to heal and how I've been regaining my confidence and how you can do that too, right? But I also wanted to talk about the days where we're not going to feel like that. The days where we're going to wake up and it's going to be hard to want to show up like our best self, right? Like the days where we feel off, there's no motivation, our mood's in the gutter, nothing feels right. And I call those funk days. And I've had plenty of those. And the thing is when I'm in a funk, the last thing that I want to think about is to figure out how to feel better. So I created a funk day list, which is a personal reset checklist that helps me get back to feeling like me again. So today I'm going to walk you through that so you have your own list ready for the next time you're in that headspace. So the first thing I focus on always is my body. I grab a big glass of water and I drink it all in one go. I know, so simple, right? But hydration shifts so much. Then I'll take a shower. Sometimes I'll even finish with a blast of cold water just to shock my system awake. Next, I move. Not like a crazy workout, but like 10 to 15 minutes of walking, stretching, dancing. If you didn't know, I love to dance. It's a secret. Or just getting outside, to stand in the sun for a couple minutes. The goal here is to tell my body that we're alive, we're moving, and we're okay. It's reconnecting, like I talked about last week, is bringing yourself to that present moment. And I didn't know how much of a difference that made. So I really want to drill that into your head. It's like coming back to your present moment. When you connect to your body, you remember that you're here, you're alive, and you feel yourself present, right? The next thing that I tried to do is to reset my mind. Right? So I grab my journal and I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. Even if it's my coffee, a blanket, and my baby's laugh. Because when you remember what you're grateful for, you get out of the negativity that your brain might want to bring you into. Maybe you have a lot going on and all you can think about is how am I going to make this work? Your brain will constantly take you back to that place of, are you sure you want to do this, because it's out of your comfort zone? Because that's its job. It's supposed to keep you safe, so it wants to keep you in a state of comfort. But sometimes that comfort is negative, and we need to learn how to walk away from it. And so then after write down what I'm grateful for, I start to brain dump everything. And if you haven't heard the term brain dumping, it's honestly taking a piece of paper or typing it out. And I dump everything that's stressing me out, right? From I have to get groceries to oh my God, how am I going to grow my coaching business? Everything that I'm thinking about, everything that's keeping me awake, everything that I feel anxiety with goes into that brain dump list. But I don't try to figure it out. And that's the thing. I don't want you to write it all down, look at it and be like, okay, now we need to fix it. No, this is just you releasing everything that's going on here like a math problem. Because I don't know about you, but before calculators, we had to do every math problem on a piece of paper. And even today, one of the hardest math problems, you're not going to solve them in your head. Why would you try to do that with your own personal life? So brain dump everything that's stressing you out. Just get it out of your head and into paper. And then I'll feed my mind something good. I'll read my Bible. Maybe I'll read a chapter from my favorite book. Or even listen to a podcast that lifts me up. For me, I love to listen to Christian podcasts, as well as the Mindset Mentor, Mel Robbins, those types of people that continue to feed into me good things. So you could do that as well. It's like I'm changing the channel on my brain, right? Because I'm remembering that I don't need to get stuck in those thoughts and those emotions. You don't need to get stuck. Remember, every thought is passive. Every feeling is passive. Every emotion comes and goes. So once you get into the habit of stopping and saying why do I feel like this? Is this real? Is this true? And you just let it go, it becomes a lot easier. The third thing that I do, and I'm always going to talk about this, is my spirit. I reset my spirit. This is the part that keeps me grounded. I pray, not a perfect fancy prayer, but I just tell God how I'm feeling. I tell everybody, like, you don't have to complicate prayer. It doesn't have to be you at an altar with your knees, on your knees. It could be you in a car, you sitting down on a bench, talking to him like I'm talking to you now. And that's what I do with God. I literally call him my best friend, my homie, because I'm so real with him. I'm just me, and I just tell him exactly how I'm feeling. And it shifts my mind. It shifts my spirit. I love worship. Love it, love it, love it. And I've been blessed to be part of worship teams. And every time I go up there and worship, or every time I'm feeling down, I just play worship music and I sing. I think, if you have me on my other social media, which if you don't, that's okay. My TikTok, my Facebook, my Instagram, I'll have moments where I post where I'm singing and worshiping. And that's how I deal with that type of stuff, right? I reset my spirit because I just love how it brings me closer to God. And it shifts my atmosphere in here, my heart. And then after that, right, I speak one positive thing over myself. Last week, I talked about mirror talking. This is the same thing, but this is one thing that's very impactful. And it's that God's got me. He's not done with me yet. That's the one thing that has kept me very centered in truth. Because life is a long journey. And if we're blessed enough to have a lot of days, you have to have some truth that's going to impact you over and over and over again. And for me, it's like, God's got me. He's not done with me yet. I can mess up. I can have the biggest failure. But still, I know that God's got me and He's not done with me yet. So what is that truth for you? Find it. And keep repeating it to yourself when you're in your funk day. It just helps. Number 4, the fourth thing that I do, I change my environment. Your space affects your mood more than you think. So for me, when I was in depression and like very, very deep into it, I stopped cleaning. I can tell you that back in 2018, I got my own apartment and I loved it there. I kind of regret not having it now, but I just loved that space. It was like mine. Like it was my first apartment that I rented out by myself. And so, I was always like, I'm on it. It's clean. When I was right. When I was wrong in depression, I did not clean. I let dishes just sit there, clothes all over the floor. I remember I was dating somebody at that time, and they truly, cared for me. They did, because they would come in and see the mess and not like comment on it. But then when I came back to being myself, I was like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I'm so sorry you saw my space like that, because it truly got really bad. So now I make sure that I clean one small thing. I start with one, making my bed, maybe clearing the kitchen counter. I wipe down counters, I fold some clothes. Whatever that small thing is in front of me, I do it. Because it's me telling my brain that we're starting fresh. It's me saying, I'm not going to get stuck in this moment. This is not who I am anymore. Let's clean it. And sometimes it's going to get harder and harder. It could be harder to just move a plate over or something. But just clean one thing. And the crazy thing is if I clean one thing, then I get the motivation to continue to clean. So that's what I want you to do, is whatever those habits are of, the self of you that's isolating and everything else that's worse. Change it with the truth. Change it with the opposite thing, right? Last thing for me, because I have a thing with isolation. I'm a very independent person. I have troubles opening up to people right when I'm going through it, right? And that's okay. That's healthy. For me, saying like, okay, I'm going through something. I need my space to figure out what's going on, figure out, how I'm going to handle it, and not like dump on people. That's just something that I learned along the way. But I used to do it to the point where I left for months or weeks and isolated, and I didn't talk to anybody. And then it became more toxic because when I would go through things and I was with my significant other, I would not speak or talk or whatever. Like nobody knew what was going on with me. So now I make sure that I connect at least with one person. Like I don't tell them what's going on, but I don't isolate, if that makes sense. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm going through this horrible thing. Like, no, I just say, hey, just want to check in how you're doing. I'm not feeling my best today. If you could pray for me, I'd appreciate it. But isolating for me became very toxic. And so I make sure that, again, I do the opposite thing that I used to do, is I connect with somebody through a text, or I call somebody just to get myself into that good feeling. Because I love talking on the phone. You can talk to me, you can FaceTime me. I will be the happiest person. It's like you talking to my heart. But I don't isolate anymore. Because that's when things got even worse. My mind just kept running and running and running. And in isolation, you feel like you're alone. You feel like nobody cares about you. Nobody's going to check in. And those are all lies. Because people see you. I have people in my life now that make me feel safe, make me feel positive, make me laugh. They pour into me, and that pulls me out of my funk even faster, right? So that's my funk day list, my little rescue plan for the days where I don't feel like myself, where I don't feel like doing anything. So I hope that you do make your own list. And, you won't have to think about what to do next. You just follow the plan. And bit by bit, you'll start to pull yourself out of the funky days. Remember, a funky day doesn't mean that you have a funky life. It's just one day. You're still you. You're still in control of what happens next. Anyway, I hope that this helps you out as much as it helps me. If you try it, send me a message and let me know what your list is, or at least one of the things that's on your list. And if you have somebody that, struggles with these things, send them the video. Share on the love of kingdom culture and the family that we're building here, because that's how we're going to grow. Anyways, don't forget that I love you, but that the Lord loves you more. Always, always, always. We'll catch you guys next time.